Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for joining me. This is part 2 of my question and answer video that I do every single Monday. I'm answering people's questions from last week, last Monday. And if you have a question, please go down below into the comment section. Ask me anything you want. I will answer your questions and post a video next Monday. So let's get right into it with the questions for part 2. And if you missed part 1, please go watch it. I also recommend things every week. Things to help you with trauma, recovery, PTSD, CPTSD, having better relationships, feeling better, anxiety, depression, all these things. So I recommend something every week, and I recommended something in part 1. So let's get started with part 2. First question is from Janet, and Janet reminds me to please, it reminds me to ask you guys to please leave your locations. Tell me where you're from. Let us all know where you're from. And it could be general. You guys don't have to be specific at all. Tell us the country, hemisphere. Okay, just be a part of what we're doing here and let people feel a little bit better and not so alone. Thank you. So Janet, hello Janet. Why wasn't I love bombed? He was just okay. And then went into anger, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and loved to watch me cry. So, I don't know him and I don't know why him, but I'll try to help you understand why, because we think narcissism behavior is a cookie cutout, right? We think everyone's the same, and they're not at all. Okay, so and that's not a criteria. That's more of a criteria of borderline. The value and devalue kind of thing. You're so amazing, you're so bad. That's borderline. Not saying narcissists don't do that too. Okay, but the love bombing is usually it's from hormones in their head. They're so excited. All of us idealize. All of us have some kind of idealized view or picture of our perfect mate, our soulmate. And I'm not saying necessarily, blonde hair or blue eyes, I'm just saying we have somebody we think is just perfect for us. And so when we meet someone that raises a few different hormones or happy hormones in our head, and it even adds in some cortisol, right? When you really like someone, you even get a little stressed. You get these sweaty palms and stuff, a little ball in your throat, hard to talk, right? To someone that you really like, but they're making all your hormones go up. It's an amazing cocktail. So people that can't handle their emotions, can't regulate their emotions, they will love bomb more. Everyone idealizes a little bit, I think. And when we go tell our best friend about the person we just met a week ago and how amazing they are, right? They're so perfect and amazing. Oh my God. And it's like, we're telling our best friend what our idealized mate is. We aren't telling them who this person is after a week because we don't know this person after a week, do we? So we get excited, and that's our hormones, and we go tell our friend, oh, they're amazing, right? And eventually the hormones go down a little bit. But that's why a narcissist or borderline will idealize so much and love bomb. You're so amazing. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you. They can't handle their emotions. It's too intense for them. So he must have not had that. Maybe he didn't have that. Maybe he didn't feel like doing that because he doesn't want to give you the wrong idea that he likes you. I don't know. But that's my guess. His hormones didn't so much go woo, woo, woo. This guy sounds like he has antisocial personality disorder. He might be a sociopath, psychopath. Okay? I hope that helps, Janet. You weren't love bombed probably because his hormones didn't go all the way up, went crazy, and he got so excited. Right? I'm sorry for what you went through, Janet. I wanted to read what Rochelle wrote to Janet because it's just so nice. I'm sorry this happened to you. I know this is tough, but we can make it through to the other side. I'm here healing with you. And I just there's something about that I just loved. It was so nice. Thank you, Rochelle, for saying that. Next question is from Giselle in Miami, Florida. Hello, Giselle. What do you do about mental dissonance? Please help advise me if it's reversible. I feel mentally lost from the trauma. Why? Couple different reasons, and you said cognitive, or you said mental dissonance. The term is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive, our cognition, our skills And we take in all of our information and we form something and an idea of what it is, what's going on, right, in our heads. And why, so your question is, why do you feel so lost from the trauma? One thing I always explain to people and try to help them understand is how we compromise who we are. And if I ask you, Giselle, who are you? What are the things that you morally value? And you might say a bunch of things that you compromised in your relationship with this person. You might say, honesty is important to me, but he lied to you the whole time. And you stayed with him. That's compromising who you are. You might say, I don't believe physical violence is okay. Maybe this person hit you. Maybe you even hit them back. Totally compromised who you are. And so now there's nothing left. You compromised all these things you say who you are, and there's nothing left, and we just feel like the ground underneath us is moving, shaking. We feel so unstable of who we are, unstable sense of self. We compromised who we are. Another thing is just trauma. Trying to realize what trauma does, and all these stress chemicals, it affects you big time and make you feel lost. The other is your dissonance, what you said. So if we choose to stay in a bad relationship, we lie. Okay? Prisoners that have to go serve years in prison, they have to. They have no choice. So why make it the worst place in the world? Let's make it one of the best places. Let's make it okay. It's amazing when you talk to people who are going to prison, how scared they are and how horrible it is. But when you talk to people that are in it, it's not so bad. They'll even say that. I like it here. It's not so bad. And stuff like this, like, damn. You know, they make it comfortable, right? And they want we want all of our comforts. And if we can have all our comforts with us while we're going through the abuse, great. Makes it better, right? Because we're not leaving. And if you're not leaving, and you're going to stay in something that is absolutely terrifying, horrific, stuff like this, we're going to make it better, right? If the walls are all red and we don't like them, we're going to paint them white. We just make it comfortable where we are. More comfortable, easier to stay. So we lie. It's not so bad. This will change. He'll change tomorrow. He'll be better. He's just upset about such and such. Oh, we just need some marriage counseling. We're going next week, hopefully. You know, these kinds of things that we do for hope, false hope, so that we don't have to change, because we hate change. Our brains cannot take change. The only time our brains would like change is because we're dead. Oh, that killed us, we better change. No, that's too late. Our brains don't want change because whatever we're doing means that we're alive. It keeps us alive. If we're alive, then whatever we did helped keep us alive. If being abused every day, you know, if we're alive after years of abuse, then that's what we need. We need more abuse every day because that kept us alive. Is it reversible? It sure is, Giselle. It sure is. This is the time that you need an outside perspective. You need somebody else. All of you need somebody else there telling you, countering the voice in your head saying how sick you are, how unhappy, how bad life is, how bad other people are, how much you need that person that abused you, what you should have done better so that they didn't abuse you, so the relationship would have continued. It's all crap. We need to fix all this, all the lies we told ourselves. Some things you explained here. You said you have it feels like you have Alzheimer's, amnesia, your mind wanders, you forget, your brain is on system overload. Stress, too much stress, too much. It went too far. You need to process these things. Figure out exactly what happened. Learn the truth, okay? And you're going to have to do that with somebody else. Good luck. Nicole from Portland. Hello, Nicole. Can narcissists hallucinate? Of course, anyone can. It's a human thing. I'm not saying that everybody does. Because your ex believes he is a vampire, that is delusional. That's delusional thinking. But you said your ex says he sees demonic figures that follows him in the woods. And he sees it in dreams. Now, that's not hallucinating. That's a dream. But he sees it in dark spaces. That's hallucinating, right? Thinking something that's not true is delusional thinking. Seeing, hearing voices in my head that tell me to do things, that's hallucinating, right? It can get pretty detailed on the definition of these and examples. Think about emotional flashbacks, living in a time that's in the past, a year ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. That starts to get a little hallucinating, isn't it? But I just wanted to tell you the difference between delusional and hallucinating. There's a big difference. And we all are a little delusional sometimes, but most of us don't hallucinate. That's not a spectrum we're all on, right? Somewhere I just hallucinate a little bit, you hallucinate a lot. Most people are in the middle. No, people don't hallucinate. That's pretty bad. Now, if he's lying, he knows he's lying, he doesn't really see him and he's telling you, that starts to get delusional. But if he really believes if he's seeing demonic figures in the shadows following him into the woods for years now, yeah, he's hallucinating. Yeah. Hope that makes a difference. Hope that helps you understand. And you have another question here, Nicole. Why did my ex-narcissist boyfriend not give me a gift on Christmas last year? Well, it's not important to him. Even though he receives them and he's happy for your gifts, not important to him. Doesn't want gifts. Some people give gifts, some people don't. Instead of getting so upset about it, I would date someone that likes to give gifts as much as they like to receive them. You said you were devastated. You put a lot of effort into his gift. I'm sorry. I bet you did. I believe you. I've been there. Done it. I've given amazing gifts to people who never gifted back. Reciprocation, Nicole. Reciprocation, and that is what's important to you. Okay? So if you're dating somebody who likes to go camping every weekend, I'm not saying reciprocation means that you need to go every other weekend if you don't like camping. If you freaking hate camping, why would you even date somebody that goes camping every weekend? Right? I didn't know. They didn't even tell me they like camping for like 6 months. But we got married in 4. You have time, guys. You have time. Take your time. Take your time to get to know people. It's great. And you deserve it and they deserve it. Take time to get to know people. No rush. Stella from Ontario. Hello, Stella. Thank you for your videos. You are very welcome. I'm struggling with cognitive dissonance. It's weird. These are all like in order. Why am I in denial as to the monster he really is? Because, Stella, you told yourself he's amazing, didn't you? Those hormones, woo, woo, woo. I always make that woo, woo, woo. Because that makes people go woo, 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 woo. And you thought he was amazing. Stella, if we have a huge void this big, imagine if my void is this big. This void right here means no love from my mom. My dad abandoned us, right? And I had a boyfriend who cheated on me, never told me why, and ditched me, threw me to the curb. I've got this huge void. It's so big. But I met someone who fills it. I met someone who fills it within 48 hours. I knew they were the one. I felt amazing. Oh my gosh. Fill that void yourself and you won't react that way to people anymore. Trust me. So I hope you listened to the previous question that I answered and where I talked a little bit about cognitive dissonance. You're in denial as to the monster who he really is because you didn't see it till now. So for 1 year, 6 months, for 2 years, 5 years, however long you dated him, he was great. And you had this hope of this amazing relationship and where it was going to go. But it wasn't realistic. Why? Because he's nothing like you. Because he does not value the things that you value. Because the two of you are completely opposite people. I promise you. If you're in love with a monster, now he's a monster because he's the same person, right? I know he changed. I know he acted or behaved differently, but he didn't change. He didn't change who he is. He changed what he does. That's it. That's it. He just changed what he does. Take your time, guys. So you're in denial because you convinced your brain that he's amazing, backed by 4 different hormones that said, yeah, he's amazing. And it wasn't him. It wasn't him, Stella. It was your void that's amazing. Okay? And it was the hormones that went up that felt amazing when you're around him. And if you can make yourself do that, you'll never be susceptible to that again. Okay? You can only be fooled and robbed by the person that has what you need or what you think that you need. Okay? Good luck, Stella. Find a professional and talk about all this stuff with them, and so that they can help you understand the truth. The truth will set you free. Judith from Spain. Hello, Judith. This is a shortened version because it was very long. And if I missed anything and I got it wrong, ask me again, Judith, and that goes for anybody. If I even miss your question, I don't answer it, it's because I missed it. I didn't see it. I passed it by. I'm sorry, but just keep asking me. Judith from Spain asks, how can I maintain no contact? In social media, he appears to have an exciting life. You wouldn't say he's empty. He is traveling and photographing his career, which makes me question if he is a real narc. He appears to be a good person. He's copying hobbies from his last supply. I believe to be responsible for making his problem worse than he was before he met me. I was also bullied in high school. Will I ever forget him? How do I appear more confident so people don't target me anymore? How to improve self? Thank you. I'm so glad you asked that last question. How do I improve myself? Let me just go over that you use the word appear 3 times. He appears to have an exciting life. He appears to be a good person. How do I appear more confident? And who cares what we appear or what people see or what they think? Who gives a crap? I don't care what he appears to look like. He appears to have an exciting life. And then you wrote, you wouldn't say he is empty because he's traveling and photographing his career. Well, empty, using that word empty, right? Doesn't know who he is, not very much substance inside, morally. Has nothing to do with traveling or photographing. Nothing. So when you said you wouldn't even say, you're telling me I wouldn't say he's empty because he's traveling and photographing. I don't know how any of those have anything to do with each other. But it makes you question if he's even a real narcissist because he's traveling and photographing. I don't get that. Narcissists lack empathy. They have self-importance. They have entitlement. They're selfish in relationships, suspicious of other people's motives and actions, constant need for attention, arrogant, judgmental attitude, insisting on only a few understand them, preoccupied with fantasies of grandeur, and only 5 of those they need to be a narcissist. That's what a narcissist is. It has nothing to do with traveling or photographing. Nothing. Nothing. Lots of narcissists travel. Lots of narcissists use a camera. That's it. So he appears, but inside, I bet he's not happy. Inside, I bet life isn't exciting enough for him. It's not fulfilling. I promise. He appears to be a good person, but he's not, is he? He doesn't do good things. So who cares what he appears to look like? And you say, how do I appear more confident? Why appear? Why not just be? Why not just have confidence? Why not ask me, how do I get confidence? How do I achieve confidence in my life? Instead of, how do I appear? So I can tell you how to appear, right? I can say, put on a nice clothes. Let's wear, name brands so we look rich. And let's, get our hair and our makeup and, let's work out. And No, how about we have confidence? And how do we have confidence? Confidence comes from experiences that must be okay, at least. Not bad, not negative, not failure, not disaster, right? We need to have experiences and they turn out good. They turn out successful. They turn out everything is okay. And now we have confidence. You've had bad experiences, so you don't have confidence. We need good experiences with people. So let's start small. You've already had problems dating. Let's not jump right into dating yet. Let's start with friends, right? Let's make our friendships that we have with people better, if that's where we want to take them with these people. And let's start having more friends and better relationships that way first, okay? And we start having confidence in life with all kinds of things. You go and get help from somebody, and that turns out to work out pretty good for you. There's some confidence. You tried really hard at something and you succeeded, and now you have confidence. Having a failed relationship is no confidence, right? That's horrible. People target, you said, so people don't target you anymore. How to improve self is your question. How do I improve myself? Find out who you are first. Find out what you value. Find out what's important to you. Find out what you want, okay? And then every choice you make, show it. So when someone says, hey, can I borrow money from you? And you don't want to give them money, and your self says no, and in here it says, oh God, no, don't do it. Don't do it. When that guy that you kind of like is pressuring you and says, let's go out again tomorrow night, and you're like, oh no, I have something else to do, or no, I don't want to, I feel it right here, I don't want to, don't do it. When this in here says, oh God, you know, you've always wanted to do this, I'm interested in this, I really like this, do it. Give it to yourself. Okay? It's the choices we make. That's why it takes time. It takes time to have choices presented to us. It took time for you to make bad choices, to compromise yourself. It's going to take time to make good choices, to show who you are again. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Judith. Who cares what we appear, right? And remember that. What someone appears to be doesn't mean that's really who they are, okay? Sandra from Melbourne. Hello, Sandra. My ex is still contacting me and harassing me. I have an intervention order for nothing. We have a child together. Is this ever going to end? I don't know your laws in Australia, Sandra, but some advice I can give you is work with a lawyer or barrister, whatever you call them in your country. They will tell you. They're the professional. They're experienced with this. Don't do this alone. Don't take people's opinion that don't know the law, like mine. If I start telling you what to do legally, what do I know? I don't know Australian law. Go to an Australian legal person and find out what to do, find out what your rights are. But aside from that, I can tell you, at least document everything. Document everything. And when we document things, it's not just time. It's not just a timestamp or what happened. How you feel about it. How it affected you. I was stressed. I was scared for my life. Write these things down. Go file a police report. I'm sure you can do that. That usually doesn't mean that they go right out and arrest the person or even investigate it. It's just reported. Over time, it looks better for you. You're building a case. But talk to a lawyer. These are legal issues that I can't answer. Thanks. Heather from Detroit, Michigan. Hello, Heather. Oh, and one thing I'll tell you is get help. Therapy. Big time. Therapy. Have people in your corner supporting you. Okay? Let's make Team Sandra huge. Big old team. Heather asks, those of us who grew up with abuse and chaos often are uneasy when in a relationship with a healthy person. It feels too quiet, too calm, too peaceful. Do you find this to be true, David? Absolutely. Yeah, I can tell you what it is. Emotionally healthy is emotionally mature. Okay, guys? I don't know if most of you even know that. Remember when we were kids? Adults were boring. Weren't they? They were boring. They were like my friends that get up and we scream and we go run outside and we play sports and yeah. No, adults sit around the table, drinking coffee, tea, playing games, talking about boring things. Yeah, they're mature. And you're immature right now. So you don't want to hang around with mature people. And that's the same thing here. Being in toxic, unhealthy relationships is immature. It's immature. And you're around mature people that are emotionally healthy, and they're boring. They're not going woo, woo, woo. People that are bored do not have a close relationship with themselves. They can't even be alone with themselves and not be bored. That means yourself is boring, right? Imagine if you're with someone else in a room all the time, okay? Just you two. And that person complains about how boring you are all the time. I'm so bored. This is so boring. I can't be around you anymore. It's so boring. It's so boring. That's what people are saying about their self when they're bored. Right? I don't get bored. I don't even know what boredom is. I can't tell you the last. I haven't been bored since I was a kid. When I didn't have a self or know who I was. That's when I was bored. Now, no way. This in here is amazing. Best company in the world. I'm my own companion. Hope that helps. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just, it can't be more true. It can't be more true. Healthy people are boring. Mature people are boring to immature people. The Blonde Artist, California. Hello, Blonde Artist. Sometimes I look back at the toxic people in my life. I laugh at their logic, hypocrisy, and behavior. Example, when a narcissist says, "You all need to grow up," while throwing a temper tantrum. What are some that you find funny? And I mean, gosh, it's just everything they do, right? I could just go down the list, man. You aren't there for me enough. You don't take care of yourself enough. You're crazy. You're a narcissist. I mean, it's just all projection, right? It's all hypocrisy, like you said. I think the biggest one that's just real obvious, right, that we see is the smear campaign. Is when someone's smearing a person and saying their name all the time and bugging them and making videos about them every week, making up lies. And the whole thing they're doing is saying, this person's smearing me. That's their whole thing. When I recommended Shane's Law petition, right? Shane's narcissist was trying to convince everybody that he was smearing her year after year. I've been smeared for a couple years by someone. They say my name for 2 years. They use my name. They put my name up in lights. They use my videos and my name, my face. And they've been making up lies and accusations. Who cares if they're even lies? Accusations, just accusing someone all the time, week after week for 2 years, 30 to 50 videos. And their whole thing is I'm doing it to them. Anyone that's watched my channel, please tell me where I've smeared somebody, where I've said someone's name, where I've said bad things about someone specifically and said, this is them, identified them. Never, not once. And I'm going to continue to keep doing this. And the person will continue to keep saying my name and smearing me and targeting me and accusing me and saying I'm doing it to them. And that is the biggest hypocrisy in the world. And what's sad, what's really sad, is the handful of supporters doesn't even fact check, doesn't even come over and realize I'm not doing it. They just take their word. Oh, that's horrible. I can't believe they're doing that to you. Oh my gosh. Oh God. Horrible. And that's just what narcissists do. They have no self. And they'll talk about having a self. They are so full of it. It's disgusting. It's gross. There's nothing there inside of them. Walking shells with half a brain reacting to everything. Gross. Anyways, that's all, guys. That's the end of the Q&A videos. Thank you very, very much for watching, participating, and supporting me in any way you can, please, by subscribing, voting, ask me questions, post this in different social media, give this to people you think that we could help. Thank you very much. Love yourself first, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. And also, I want to say Merry Christmas. I know this is a tough season. It's almost over, guys. Christmas is one day. New Year's is one day. That's it. It's going to come and go, and you have many, many more ahead of you. Okay? Surround yourself with people. Say yes to something and try to do something, and don't be by yourself. That's the only thing I can tell you, okay? Thanks, guys. Love yourself first. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.